Back to Dark Souls 2, I asked you what weapon should I use next, and you decided to pick the Ultra Great Swords. But a comment said why would I use one weapon when I can power stance two different weapons. So I decided to add Great Swords 2 and power stance them. So this is me taking on Dark Souls 2, only using Great Swords and Ultra Great Swords. Let's go over the rules really quickly. The first rule is that I can only kill stuff using Great Swords and Ultra Great Swords, and gravity is one of them. Rule number 2, I can only summon for the Frigid's outskirts and I must banish the summons before fighting the boss. Rule number 3, I must beat all bosses. Rule number 4, I have to use every Ultra Great Sword or Great Sword at least once. Well, not all of them, I will make some exceptions, but for the most of the part I will use them all. Rule number 5, no glitches or exploits are allowed. And the bonus rule is that I must rank my top 3 best and worst weapons in each class of these two, and suffer the wrath of the comment section. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We name our character Cheese Queen because these weapons are extremely strong. Then choose the Temperate class for some reason, and get the bonfire aesthetic, you can't go wrong with that. Then I made my way to Hyde's Tower of Flame to test our strongest and the most effective greatsword in the game, Gravity. Because we all know this killed everyone more than any Ultra Greatsword or a Greatsword can. Then punched Lycia off the edge to get enough souls to buy a fragrant branch of yore from Melentia, and get the Silver Covetous Serpent Ring +1 for more souls. I opened the path to the Shaded Woods and got my first Greatsword, the Claymore, your legendary and generic sword, with a moveset that I don't really like nor hate. I like the other movesets more, to be honest. And we test our damage on Malin. Yeah, it seems good. Benhart on the other hand was not impressed, so I killed him and got the Blue Moon Greatsword. It is not a bad weapon at all, but there's no reason to use it if you have any other weapon. The moveset is almost identical to the Claymore with a different heavy attack. Then we test our Claymore on the Pursuer and, the damage is pretty good for an upgraded weapon. Killing the Pursuer gives us the Ring of Blades for more physical damage. With the Ring of Blades acquired, I go back to the last giant with the fake Moonlight Greatsword, and the damage was pretty good. I knew it was good for early game, but I did not expect it to be that good, I'm not gonna lie. Getting the Soldier Key allows us to get the Bastard Sword, which is a slightly weaker Claymore with a different heavy attack. Continuing my weapon gathering marathon, I went to No Man's Wharf to get the Greatsword, literally the best Ultra Greatsword in the game. It deals massive damage and has a scaling in strength, and it is buffable and infusible. While at it, I beat up the Flexile Sentry with my Bastard Sword. I just wanted to get rid of the weapon and the boss. Then I headed back to the Falls of the Fallen Giants to get the Dragonleg Sword. I really love it because of the moveset, offering high damage and C scaling in strength and A index, making it an excellent quality weapon. In the last Bastille, I got the Dull Amba and committed a cardinal sin. I killed Lucatil to get the Mirah Greatsword for later, and I got punished for it, because fuck Lorne decided to invade me and destroy me. Seeing my low damage, I decided to upgrade my Greatsword to +5 and test it on the second Pursuer, and it is safe to say that it is broken. I got my Twinkling Titty and destroyed the Ruined Sentinels, just to prove how broken the Greatsword in this game is. This is a +4, without any buff, nor a Bright Bug, nor a Sacred Oath, nor an Infusion. And I can kill each sentinel with 5 or 6 sets. With the Ruined Sentinel Z, we get access to the most annoying NPC in the game, Strayed, who will sell us boss weapons and spells. So I have to keep up with his bullshit for now. We get the Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword from him, which is literally a weaker Greatsword with a slightly different moveset and a higher counter damage. So I killed the second Pursuer in the area using its weapon just to assert dominance. Back in Huntsman Copse, I showed no mercy to Rowena and upgraded my Dragonleg Sword to +2 and took the Executioner Chariot with it. We can one-shot the skeletons with 2 swords with our light attacks, and the Necromancers in 2 hits. Needless to say, our damage on the horses was very good. With that being said, I really don't like the Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword, so I took it to fake Ornstein and killed him with it to get rid of the weapon. Don't get me wrong, I like the moveset and the damage is not bad, but there is no reason to use it if you have a Greatsword. It is easier to upgrade and deals more damage. The only pro for this weapon is counter damage, which is not really consistent. I took my trusty Drainleg sword back to knock off Quailag, and it did not disappoint. This is the damage with a +2 twinkling titanite weapon. She was a piece of cake, since most of her attacks with you if you are on her sides, and you can go to the solid platform to be safe from her dig attacks. Then I decimated Magus and the congregation with my greatsword, progressed creating quest and got the engraved gauntlet, giving us a chance to deal 1.5 the damage of a normal attack. By the way, for this run I would farm a lot of souls to reach 43 attunement, 60 strength, 50 dex, 40 int and faith, to get as much as I can from each weapon, and with every infusion. In addition, with these stats, I can power stance every greatsword and ultra greatsword. Then I grabbed a torch in my left hand and killed the Duke's dear Freya. When you know how easy it is to run from side to another and bait out her laser attack, it's really hard not to do it. And I forgot to record myself killing the last sinner. But it does not really matter because I respawned here for later to give the old witch soul. Man, this really sucks. In any case, the last sinner's greatsword is a really good weapon. It deals very good damage and it probably has the most damage among the ultra greatswords. But your sin level makes your damage worse. And if you don't know what is a sin level is, every time you kill an NPC you get one more sin level. I killed Molan, Penheart, Timo Patches and Lucatil, which means my sin level is 4. And this weakens my damage. And to top it all off, it drains a little bit of your HP with each hit, which is really not convenient if you ask me. I ascended to the pit in Majula and got Whisper of Despair, a debuff that lowers your enemy defenses, and used my new weapon on everyone's favorite 1 million soul memory farm, the Ra'an. The damage was actually really great. I read on the wiki that your sin level lowers the damage on paper, but it does not really affect it that much on enemies. I'm not sure about it. The wiki can be wrong. So I respawned the Ra'an with my bonfire aesthetic to get the old dead one soul, giving me access to my favorite weapon in the game, the Crypt Black Greatsword. It has a great axe moveset, which is very cool, and it offers probably the highest dark damage in the game. It also has the second highest counter damage after the Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword, easily one of the best Ultra Greatswords in the game. I re-summoned Duke's dear Freya to get the old Pale Drake soul, granting me the most iconic weapon of all time, the Moonlight Greatsword. It is extremely strong, and it deals massive magic damage, and it has a really cool and useful projectile attack. Even if the enemy resists magic, you can make it enchanted to deal physical damage. With the souls I got from Freya, I bought the Mirah Greatsword. It offers the cool Greatsword moveset, and it has an A scaling index and C in strength, which is pretty good. With that being said, I killed the Skeleton Lords with the Moonlight Greatsword and the Blue Moon Greatsword. The damage was not really great because my Moonlight Greatsword was not upgraded, but don't worry, it will shine later. And I killed Jabba the Hutt with my Mirah Greatsword. The damage was lovely for a +4 normal weapon, but I decided to use my favorite weapon again. It did not get justice for using it against Freya, so I got myself a Dark Knight Stone, infused it with Dark, got Dark weapon, and fought Mitha. This is a +1 boss weapon, without the Dark Clutch Ring, while I am at 25 and Faith, not even close to the soft caps, and while using the weaker Dark buff. Do you see where I'm coming from? This thing is absolutely insane. Killing Mitha gives us access to the floating lava island in the sky, where we get the Spy hand up. It's a really good weapon, but I decided that I want more damage. So I headed to the Sunken King DLC and I got a lot of petrified dragon bones and twinkling titanites, some bonfire statics and the lightning clutch ring for more lightning damage, and the best ring in the game, Flint ring, giving me 50 flat AR when my max equip load is less than 60, which you can achieve by having 14 vitality, or 7 with the third dragon ring. And most importantly, the Drake Blood Greatsword, arguably the best greatsword in the game. You might think I'm insane because it has split lightning and magic damage, but this thing deals massive damage, and it has the good greatsword moveset. The only con is that it is upgraded with petrified dragon bones rather than twinkling titanites. Just for reference, this is my damage against the Pursuer in the things betwixt, uninfused and +2 by the way. See the damage? With that being said, I did not want to use it yet, so I got my Spy hand up to +7 and fought the Smelter Demon, and the damage was insanely good. But let's say I had a skill issue. I mean, I had base ADB, and we all know Smelter Demon with low ADB is a nightmare. And by the way, I found a way to get to him without killing any enemy consistently. First, you will turn off the fire in this room, drop on this platform, make your way back up. This confuses the enemy AI, and you can go through the fog gate without getting hit. The Smelter Demon gave me a bit of hard time due to my lack of adaptability, but when I decided to dodge without getting greedy and only punish the end of his combos, I finally killed him. If you are not convinced that the Drake Blood Greatsword is broken yet, a +2 Drake Blood Greatsword out damages the +7 Zweihander. Let that sink in. With the soul of the Smelter Demon, you can get one of the best weapons in the game, the Smelter Sword. It can't be buffed nor infused, but its heavy attacks are quite unique. It has the Zweihander moveset, but with extra fire AoE, and it hits like a fucking truck. Fun fact, I power stands this with the Greatsword in my first playthrough, so this has a special place in my heart. With that being said, only one Ultra Greatsword can rival the Smelter Sword in the fire damage category, being the Black Knight Ultra Greatsword. They share the same moveset, the only difference being the Black Knight Ultra Greatsword can be infused and buffed. It deals less damage, but it has a higher counter damage, sitting at 130 in comparison to the unimpressive 110 of the Smelter Sword. With Flame Weapon from the Old Witch Soul, you get more damage with a heavy attack from the Black Knight Ultra Greatsword if you hit a counter attack. But in terms of consistency, and without a need to worry about the timing of the buff, nor the counter damage, the Smelter Sword deals more damage. I'll leave the choice for you, but I value consistency more than RNG. But before leaving Iron Keep, we need one more weapon, the Black Knight's Greatsword. It has the cool moveset, and it has innate fire damage, which means you can infuse it and buff it with fire, making it the best fire greatsword in the game. So I did the only logical thing I could think of. I killed the most fire resistant boss in the game with a fire greatsword. Jokes aside, this is an unupgraded Black Knight Greatsword. Do you see the damage? It's pretty insane if you ask me. With staying back, you can dodge most of Iron King's attacks without dodging, and you are good to go, since only his laser beam attack can hit you, and it's very easy to strafe. After getting all the fire weapons, I decided to kill the last sinner in New Game Plus for the Old Witch Soul. I decided to use the Drake Blood Greatsword, because it deals lightning and magic damage, and I can buff it with dark, covering all weaknesses of her. This is a +2 weapon without an infusion and with a very bad build. It is not optimized at all. And this is last sinner in New Game Plus. And I can two-shot the pyromancers too. Just saying. With flame weapon, I got a fire drake stone for my Black Knight Ultra Greatsword and the heavy iron key. And headed to Drake Lake Castle, where I got the Flame Badge. It's a weaker bastard sword with a bleed damage. But before I test it, I wanted to test my Black Knight Ultra Greatsword. Yeah, this is something. Fun fact, I ended up killing the twin dragon riders without getting hit. They basically have no attacks to reach you behind their backs. So I decided to tackle the Old Iron King DLC, where I got the single most stylish sword in the game, the Majestic Greatsword. It might seem bad on the first glance. It can't be buffed and the moveset is boring. But when you use it in your offhand, you get a special moveset. The one-handed heavy attack is a double spin, just like Artorias. And you have a stab attack, just like Artorias. And you have the infamous front flips, some of the best attacks in the game. They can stun like most enemies in the game. And when you pair it with another Greatsword, you get this sick special attack. Then I leveled my Flamberge to +4 and took down the Looking Glass Knight. The damage was pretty decent for a +4. The Looking Glass Knight is immune to bleed, and this weapon has built-in bleed. You can tell I was not really thinking straight when I decided to take him with that weapon. But the damage was actually really decent. I almost beat him without him summoning. I stayed behind him and baited out the lightning attacks. Overall, it is way safer behind his back than in front of him, since his hitboxes are quite questionable. With this soul, we get the third Greatsword. It also has the cool moveset. I think you can tell by now that I really like this moveset. But with a special lightning spear thrust attack. It is not too bad, but nothing to write a home about. So I infused it with lightning, slapped on lightning blade, And oh my god, look at this damage. This is only a +3 weapon. Grandma stood no chance and opened the path for us to get blasted by Aldi, of course. And she also gave us the key to the embedded with a whopping 150 counter damage. With all reroling, this is easily one of the highest counter attacks in the game, almost doing 1.7 the damage. For reference, a critical hit with the engraved gauntlet will give you 1.5 the damage. Just imagine a counter hit with the critical attack of the engraved gauntlet. Well, that's very unlikely, but it would be fucking insane. But you can't upgrade it nor infuse it. But you can buff it. And the base damage is absolutely insane, and it has an S scaling index, which is pretty handy. And if you are still not convinced that it is good, look at my damage against Velstad. It's pretty fucking insane. The poor guy did not even stand a chance. At the time, I did not know that you can get the Drake Wing Ultra Greatsword from the Guardian Dragon Soul. But don't worry, I'll get it later. Then I kid you not, I spent 1 freaking hour just farming for the old Mirage Greatsword. And for what? It was pretty shit. It has the same moveset, everything just like the Mirage Greatsword, but less durability, less base damage, and higher scaling. This S scaling in dexterity is not any good, because the Mirage Greatsword, even with A scaling, out damages it. And for some reason, I hit the record of. So let me summon it for you. I killed the Ryan 3 times, got myself 50 dexterity, leveled up these 2 weapons to +8, and took down Eva. Just so you know that it was pretty shit, I decided to re-summon Eva with a bonfire aesthetic. I did probably the most optimal build, aside from being the right hand sword being infused. If it was not infused, I could have infused it with I could have buffed it with charcoal fire resins, but it does not matter. I power stance them. The heavy attack did 1000 damage. You might think it is good, but for reference, the Ultra Greatsword of the Black Knights at +4 without Whisper of Despair does 1100 damage in its strong attack. So I guess this is 2 hours of my life down the drain. And with that, I took my anger on the Ancient Dragon with the Moonlight Greatsword and the Blue Moon Greatsword power stance. Sorry, I had to use this combo. It seems too legendary to miss on. But when I tried to use it on Fume Knight, the stamina cost was too much to bear. So I used the Blue Moon Greatsword alone, and it worked out great. I just had to get patient and not get greedy. With that easy fight out of the way, I got one of the most iconic weapons in the game, the Fume Knight Ultra Greatsword. It is the heaviest Ultra Greatsword in the game besides the King's Ultra Greatsword, and it can block and attack at the same time. But it's not that good. Yes, the poking ability is good, but this does not justify needing 30 freaking dexterity with a D scaling in its dexterity. And it is very heavy for my pathetic 14 vitality. And to add salt to the injury, you can't buff it. Though I admit, it's the best way to take down these annoying lizards, because it deals a lot of damage and it has good range. With it being a strike weapon, I upgraded it to +3 and fought the Blue Smelter Demon. The damage was good and he spammed the jump attack. I even beat him without getting hit by his sword once. And with its soul we can get the Aged Smelter Sword, which is just the Smelter Sword, but magic. So I farmed some more petrified dragon bones, and if you are wondering how I farm them, I use a bonfire aesthetic here, get it back from the same area, kill the drake, the crystal lizard, get these 2 from here, and so on and so forth. After a bit of farming, I maxed out my crypt black sword, got resonant weapon, and oh my god, look at the damage! With the Dark Clutch Ring, Whisper of Despair, Flint's Ring, Ring of Blades +1, this is the amount of damage that you can get. And after killing the Giant Lord for 9 times and nearly losing 3 million souls in the process, I got myself 43 attunement and 60 strength to equip the Sacred Oath for more physical damage and defenses. I used the same weapon for Lud and Zalen. I managed to kill Lud before Zalen intervened, and we all know that once 1 cat is remaining, the fight is pretty much over. With the Soul of Lud, we get the Lois Greatsword. It has a pretty fast poke attack, more like the puzzled straight sword light attacks. And the light attacks are quite fast too. It's more like a straight sword but bigger and stronger. So I upgraded it to +3 and fought Sir alone. The poke did great damage, and actually, I managed to beat him without getting hit. It's my first time getting the seppuku animation, and with the souls I got from him, I bought the Greatsword of the Forlorn. The moveset is normal, nothing to write home about, but it's unique because it scales with your hollowing, and when infused with bleed, paired with the Crest of Blood Ring and the Shadow Gauntlet, it almost deals 500 freaking bleed buildup per hit. You heard me right, per hit, while keeping a really good physical damage and dark scaling. So I bullied the Throne Watcher and Defender with it. With their soul you can get the Watcher and Defender Greatswords. The moveset is generic, but with one trade-off. They have built-in buffing system, which is pretty shit for the record. You can't buff them with any other method. After that, I got back to farming to get my Smelter Sword to +3. Slapped on Magic Clutch Ring and the Fire Clutch Ring, and fought with Ilana. I knew I did not need to dodge a lot, since I basically hit like a nuke. And she summoned Velstad. And believe it or not, he helped me. You see, when I do the special attack, I run out of stamina very quickly. And I need iframes as fast as possible. And when Velstad smacks me on the ground, I get a lot of iframes, funnily enough. And he did not forget to give me a goodbye kiss after killing his girlfriend. I decided to use the Watcher and Defender swords against Sin, because he is an easy boss. At first I tried power stancing them while buffed, but it did not work out. So I used each one for half of his HP, and I actually chopped off his tail. Cool. Then I found the charred Lois sword of camera, but don't worry, I got one in the actual fight against the Ivory King. It shares the same moveset with the Lois Greatsword, but with a shitty heavy attack. I know it is stupid, but I felt that I needed to use it against the Ivory King, since it's found in his arena. But that does not mean the fight was very bad. Yes, I did a lot of mistakes, and only got 3 knights for some reason. I forgot the 4th even existed. And even though I was mainly doing fire damage, it was not too bad, and he was dead fairly easily. With his soul you can get his weapon, the Burnt Ivory King Ultra Greatsword. It has the same moveset with the Zweihander, but with an additional beam that does magic damage. But this is only for the two-handed attacks, and the durability leaves a lot to be desired. It has built-in bleed, so I upgraded it to +3 for the Ghoul Squad. I did what I always do. Run in circles, yada yada, parry Havel, yada yada, the Dex user is dead, kill Sierra, the usual stuff. For Dark Lurker, I decided to go with a lightning-infused Drake Blood Greatsword, and the damage did not disappoint. Don't forget that Dark Lurker has absurd magic damage defense. I killed Vendrick, but I forgot to record for some reason. I used a Lightning Claymore because I feel I did not use it enough. Then we got the King's Soul. You can only get the Ruler's Greatsword or the King's Ultra Greatsword, because you can't get more than one King's Soul in one playthrough even with a bonfire aesthetic. I decided to get the Ruler's Greatsword because it has a gimmick. It's probably the strongest Greatsword in terms of raw damage, and when you have 1 million souls you get about 200-300 AR, basically for free. So I upgraded it to +5 and killed the Guardian Dragon using a bonfire aesthetic to get the Drake Wing Ultra Greatsword. It shares the same moveset with the Zweihander, but with a heavy attack that you get a nice projectile attack with. But it's nothing to write home about. It's extremely weak, like weaker than the lightning spear from the Thorned Greatsword of the Looking Glass Knight. I was running out of bosses, so I decided to kill the Royal Rat Vanguard with it. Following the Royal Rat Vanguard is none other than the Royal Rat Authority. So I figured out I wanted a weapon with hyper armor. So what is better than the Majestic Greatsword Power Stance Heavy Attack? I sliced through the little rats with my hyper armor, and once left alone, the big boy stood no chance. At the end, I decided to use Ruler's Greatsword against Chandra, because you know, she betrays Vendrick. That's his sword, so you know, lore shit. I know, I'm a nerd, whatever. And for Aldi, I decided to use the Moonlight Greatsword because I did not use it enough, and I really like it. And made sure to finish the run with the very cool special attack. And with that, the run is... Oh god, I forgot about the Belfry Gargoyles. So what weapon should I use? Oh yeah, the Black Dragon Ultra Greatsword. But it's very hard to get. There's no way in hell I'm summoning the Guardian Dragon 30 times and killing him 30 times. If only I could get... Oh look, nice, I got 30 dragon skills, how generous. The Black Knight Greatsword is just a weaker Blue Moon Greatsword that is way harder to get, like way harder, and it's basically outclassed by everything in the game. And with that, the run is finally over. So let's get the ranking done. For Ultra Greatswords, the third place from the bottom goes to Fume Knight Ultra Greatsword. Yes, it's very strong and it can block, but you need really high stats and you can't buff it. At second place from the bottom, we have the Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword. Yes, it has the highest counter damage in the class, but other than that, it's outclassed by the Lost Sinner's Greatsword, by the Greatsword, basically everything. And at the bottom of the tier, we have the Drake Wing Sword. If you can't kill the Royal Red Vanguard with an infusion, with a buff, with Sacred Order, you know you are in for a bad time. For the top 3, I'll start with the Aged Smelter Sword. I put it higher than the Smelter Sword because magic is generally less resistant than fire. Therefore, the Aged Smelter Sword is better, and it felt wrong not to put one of them in the tier list. At second place, we have the Crypt Black Sword. It deals massive dark damage and probably the highest dark damage in the game. The only con is its weight and counter damage, but you really don't rely on that a lot. And in first place, and surprise to no one, the Almighty Greatsword. It does the highest damage in the class, it's very good, with every infusion, you get it very early, and there is no gimmicks for it. Now, for the Greatswords. Coming at number 3 of the worst Greatswords, we have the All-Mirah Greatswords. It has shitty durability, shit base damage, and is very hard to get your hands on. Number 2 spot goes for the Blue Moon Greatsword. It's solid for early game, but falls off hard after that. And we can't forget about the catfish that everyone got because they thought it was the Moonlight Greatsword. And the worst Greatsword in the game, and surprise to no one, the Black Dragon Greatsword. It's just a weaker Blue Moon Greatsword that is 1000 times harder to get your hands on. For the best Greatswords in the game, the third place award goes to the Ruler's Greatsword. It's the strongest Greatsword in terms of physical damage, but the lack of coolness definitely hurts it a lot. You would expect it to do at least something special because it's the Ruler's Greatsword. And with the 1 million soul gimmick, it is cool, but will keep you at the tip of your toes all the time. Coming at number 2 of the best Greatswords is the Drake Blood Greatsword. It deals massive damage without a lot of upgrading, and you can get your hands on it after killing only one boss. And for the best Greatsword in the game, I had to put the Majestic Greatsword. Other than the inability to infuse it, it's perfect. Deals a lot of damage, very good with dark and enchanted infusions, and the moveset is just superior. And with that being said, this is my opinion, so please don't crucify me if I did not give enough credit for your favorite weapon. We will wrap up the video right here, so make sure to hit that like button only if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't like it, hit that dislike button and don't forget to tell me why. And if you want to see more content like this or just love seeing me suffer, make sure to subscribe and have a nice day, my friend. Don't you dare go hollow.